Breaking news. The last 60 days have been absolutely devastating for the reputation of Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. And after going through this podcast tour trying to sell her new book, several things have come to light about her that the public needs to know. Number 1. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant does not actually have a doctorate, which we can now confirm. And number 2, she has been going around telling everyone that she is a licensed therapist. But here is the problem with that. You cannot legally practice as a therapist without a license. So at best, what she actually is a life coach. Yet she has been actively promoting and conducting what she describes as therapy sessions while appearing on major podcasts with massive audiences. And even after being publicly exposed as a fraud by people across the internet, including her former co-worker Tay, who spoke out directly, she still has people out here defending her.
Misogynistic to question Dr. Cheyenne Bryant as a doctor. And let me tell you why. Y'all ain't question Dr. Dre's a doctor. Y'all ain't question Dr. J's a doctor. If those men call themselves doctors, let her find herself call herself a doctor too. Matter of fact, I wonder if she's accepting appointments.
And see, that is exactly what is wrong with some of you out here. I get it. Cheyenne Bryant is an attractive woman, no question about it. But here is the reality check. You are not getting anywhere near her either. So why are you out here simping and defending someone who has been caught misrepresenting her credentials to the public? That does not make any sense. And it gets worse from here. Recently, a colleague or someone connected directly to her program came forward and exposed her for something that makes this entire situation even more serious.
Went to school. She was already calling herself doctor. We got into an argument about it one time because the dialogue we were having in class was, do we call ourselves doctor even though we weren't completed with school? And she said she paid so that she could be a doctor. And I said, being called doctor isn't that damn important because it's no difference than anything else. What's important is the work we do. But we got into a very heated argument about it. And our instructor said, you cannot say that you're a doctor if you haven't completed your dissertation and done with school.
And the lies just keep piling up. Recently, Cheyenne Bryant appeared on the Dear Future Wifey podcast, a Christian-oriented show based out of Atlanta. And what she said on that episode might be one of the most outrageous things she has put out there yet.
I was paying the majority of the bills, and I was in school with 26 units a semester. I was running an entire mobile legal company that I owned. So I was moving and shaking. And
at 21 years old, you was doing that?
At 21, I bought my first house at 19 years old.
What?
Bought my
in
first
LA?
house at 19 in the city of Long Beach, in North Long Beach.
Let's go.
I bought a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house and then built a whole loft in the backyard and rented the whole thing out and moved in with him. Closer to my retail store that I had. I had 3 retail stores on Melrose. You know Melrose?
Yes.
Yeah, 3 retail stores. I was actually, I have to brag about this, y'all. I was the first, because I loved it. Yes. I was the first and youngest Black woman to ever own a store on Melrose. It was a French owner, and he said, how old are you? I'm not renting to you. Absolutely not.
What?
And I said, well, because I already owned my house, right?
So, according to her story, she was 19 years old, carrying 26 units at the same time. Now, anyone who has been through college knows that 15 units is already a heavy load, so 26 is on a completely different level. And on top of that, she claimed she had purchased a house, built an addition onto the back of that house, and was running 3 stores on Melrose Boulevard simultaneously, all at 19? And if you think that sounds unbelievable, the comments section felt exactly the same way and did not hold back at all. One person said she lies so effortlessly that they were starting to believe her. Someone else said she told them she was the youngest Black CEO in Spirit Airlines history. Another commenter joked that she probably flew to the moon with Neil Armstrong and forgot to mention she was the first Black astronaut to own a spacecraft. The comments were ruthless, and honestly, they were not wrong. But the one that hit the hardest said simply that something is clearly off, and that the real issue is that this woman has built an entire platform around telling other people to get help when she herself appears to be the one in serious need of it. And that right there is the core of the problem. She is out here dispensing life advice and conducting so-called therapy sessions while lying consistently, flagrantly, and without any accountability whatsoever. She contradicts herself within the same interview because she's just throwing things out there hoping something goes viral, and she has gotten so comfortable with it that she can't even keep her own stories straight. But beyond Cheyenne Bryant herself, there is another group of people who need to be held accountable here, and that is the podcast hosts who keep platforming her. Now, I will be the first to admit I'm not perfect either. I make questionable thumbnails and titles sometimes, and I own that. But how are you running a legitimate podcast, whether that's Joe Button, Nick Cannon, Dear Future Wifey, or anyone else, and you already know about these scandals, and you are still not only booking her, but paying top dollar to do it? Because she's not showing up for free. That means money that came from your audience is being used to fly her out, put her up, and hand her a microphone so she can lie directly to the people who support you. And then you sit right there next to her, nodding along like everything she's saying is gospel? You know it's not true. Stop playing along and do better by your audience. Now, shifting gears, most of us have been through a breakup at some point, and sometimes people do not handle it well. A young man recently went viral after getting dumped and making the questionable decision to go back to his ex-girlfriend's house to show off that he was doing well financially, and it did not go the way he planned. Here's the thing, young man. When a woman ends things with you, the last move you want to make is showing up at her door, flashing money, trying to make her regret her decision. That energy might feel powerful when you're 20 or 21, but it rarely lands the way you think it will. Most women who have genuinely moved on do not care about a cash display at the front door. You want to actually get her attention? Stop reaching out entirely. I know that sounds backwards, but trust the process. She'll find out you're doing well on her own. They always do. They'll search, they'll ask around, and they will find out through mutual people. Meanwhile, you're going over there trying to make her feel bad for leaving, which is only making you look worse. And here's the real perspective shift. If she chose you once, there's a good chance her next choice is not going to be a massive upgrade. So all you really have to do is continue improving, stay out of her way, and keep her unblocked so when things inevitably fall apart with whoever she moves on to, she still has a way to reach you. Just be patient, stay consistent, and don't do anything that disqualifies you permanently. The long game always wins. Now, moving on to the next story, there was a young man who recently went viral because his neighbors were out barbecuing, and being a hungry kid who could smell everything cooking, he did exactly what any reasonable person in that situation would do.
I ain't trying to be rude though, but you still grilling?
Nah, we done now.
Oh, y'all just finished today?
Yeah.
Y'all got some leftovers?
Nah, we ain't even ate yet.
Oh, it's almost done.
What you need, man?
I'm trying to get some food. I saw y'all grill though, but I was like, y'all grilling?
Do you live up the street?
Yeah.
Okay, well, next time we grill, I'll make sure to get something extra for you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, what's your name?
Jacquez.
Jacquez. I'm Miss Ariel.
Ari. My sister's name is Ari.
Jacquez, do you like, it's not grilling, but do you like Cheeto Puffs?
Yeah.
You like Cheetos? Okay.
Okay.
Here you go, bud.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day, okay?
I
Okay.
got you next time, man.
Okay.
I got you next time, all right?
Be safe, Jacquez.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
So the neighbors sent the kid away with a bag of Doritos or Cheetos or something along those lines. And honestly, you have to respect the fact that he was completely upfront about it. Just walked right up and asked if they were still grilling and if there was anything left in the back. No shame, just hungry and honest. But that is also exactly the kind of energy that gets you uninvited from things. because you cannot always be the person showing up empty-handed, looking for a plate without ever bringing anything to the table. That said, this story has a genuinely happy ending. The Black internet rallied around this kid in the comments, and the community came through and threw him a pizza party. He did not get a full cookout, but he was absolutely thrilled, and that is what matters. It is a beautiful thing when people show up for the youth like that. There are a lot of kids out there whose parents may not always be present, and all they really want is to feel included, to be part of something, to eat well, to belong somewhere. That is the kind of community I grew up in, out in Del Paso Heights. If you had something, everybody around you had something. That was just the culture, except for one particular friend who stole my mother's watch back in 1997. But that is a story for another day. Kudos to that family for showing that young man some love and looking out for the youth. Now, before we close things out, it is time to hand out the dustiest award of the day. Our nominees are Cheyenne Bryant, who has built an entire career on credentials she does not have. Then we have the young man who went back to his ex-girlfriend's house trying to impress her after getting his finances together. And finally, the young man who walked up to the neighbor's cookout looking for a plate. So who takes home the crown? After a dramatic drum roll, the dustiest award goes to Cheyenne Bryant. And listen, every single time I get on the internet, there she is, out here making more money than most honest people by simply not telling the truth, getting booked on major platforms that have never once thought to call anybody else, and grifting her way straight to the bank. The audacity is genuinely impressive, in the worst possible way. The dust has officially been thrown. It is a wrap.